Hello everybody, how are you guys all doing? I am quickly trying to make this vlog as I'm at home. Our house is kind of a mess. We're all trying to clean it. You know, we've all taken different sections of the, different responsibilities of what section we're going to be cleaning in the house today. We're preparing for 4th of July tomorrow, and it's also our son's birthday. My oldest son, Ambrose, will be turning 12. So you'll have to excuse me as I'm making this vlog while I'm working from home. Or, cleaning my house. Uh, but I want to be uncut. I want to be real. This is part of military life and what I am doing at this point. You'll have to excuse me every once in a while. I'll be stopping just to go after my little ones. They do tend to get in trouble. Anyhow, I got a lot of responses from my blog last weekend. I want to thank everyone for taking the time to watch it and really pay attention to it. It was a blog in regards to Vanessa Guillen, who has been missing for several months. I am following up with that blog, with this blog today, just to, I guess there are more findings, so I want to close that whole chapter. We did find Vanessa Guillen this month, actually this week, and it was a sad ending for her. Unfortunately, she was found face down in a river, a shallow river. That was pretty much where she was found. And excuse me one second, I'm calling my dogs. Come on, you guys, come on. Sorry about that. I'm trying to hurdle them into their kennel. Come on. There you go. And anyhow, she was found. Sad ending for her. And, my heart goes out to the family and the friends of Vanessa Guillen. Give me one second. I'm grabbing my son. I'm so sorry. This little one got himself stuck in the dog kennel. I had to fish him out. Anyways, as I was saying, very sad ending for Vanessa. Even worse was the fact that they had a suspect that they were going after. I guess before she died, or before she went missing, she managed to tell her family the name and who exactly was sexually harassing her. And it appears that it was a supervisor. Well, there was a bolo put out in place. Give me one second. Kennel! My dog does not know boundaries. There was a bolo put out in place on the base I should say post, not base. She was in the Army. For those of you that don't know what bolo is, don't worry. I didn't know either myself. I had to go to my husband and ask. And basically a bolo is be on the lookout. And sorry, my son is climbing all over me right now. They were on the lookout, and basically he caught wind of this, that they were looking for him, so he ran from the police, and then he decided to kill himself by shooting himself. So I don't know who wins in this situation in the end, because he does have guilty written all over him. But at the same time, some people would sit and say, great, he shot himself, perfect. But other people would say, but he doesn't get any punishment for what he did to Vanessa. But then, the big question is killing himself punishment? I don't know. Maybe you, my viewers out there, can, would like to weigh in or, have your comments on that. Excuse me, I'm making lunch for my babies. They asked for pinto beans. We're Mexican, just like Vanessa Guillen. And my babies, they love eating pinto beans and rice, Mexican rice. So I'm making them some lunch as I talk. Anyhow, so, you know, his actions speak loud. You know, it's like if he isn't guilty and that doesn't say he's guilty, then what does? Me and my husband did talk about this quite a bit the other day when we got the information, just like everybody else. He argued a valid point that what if he was running from the cops because he knew of something, but he wasn't exactly guilty? Well, that could be true in certain cases, but in this case, he was guilty all over him. I mean, if you weren't guilty, I mean, if you didn't commit the crime, but you knew of something and you went ahead and shot yourself, that doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, we both agree that he definitely is guilty, but there are cases out there where people can run from the authorities for various reasons. So, unfortunately, this is not one of them. So, with that being said, I'm sure there will be more information. There will be more gossip going on about this case. But, you know, at this time, I'd like to close it with that. You guys can continue to talk amongst yourselves or send me responses. Tell me what you guys think. It's very sad and unfortunate. You know, my heart is with her family. But what can be said? You know, just like I said the other day in my last blog, you know, I'm Mexican too. And what I was saying was, you know, for those of us that don't speak English or don't speak English properly, it can be kind of hard because, you know, people take advantage of you or they think you're stupid or something. Or they truly believe you don't belong here or anything. But when you do speak English, then the questions fly around like, oh, you speak English. Where did you learn? Or, you know, like I said, they sorry about that. I had to grab my son. He's wiggling about. You know, they find out, oh, where did you speak English? And immediately we're degraded, or we're just, you know, we don't get respect as others would. I don't know exactly if other Hispanics or Latinos or anyone else has felt this type of vibe. You know, my quick little story to this is I'm a mother of 4. Oh, excuse me one second. Let me go find out what's going on with one of them. Oh, did she lock you in? Okay, the kitty has to go back out to the garage. As I said, I'm sorry about this craziness. I am a mother of 4, a proud mother of 4, a military wife, and a veteran, so it's pure madness in my house. But as I was saying, my personal experience on things, which bothers me to this day, is my oldest son, after he was born, I was shopping in a mall. I went to JCPenney's. I wanted to buy something, and I had him with me in the stroller, and I was standing in line at the register. The woman in front of me, she was Caucasian. She was elderly. She turned around, smiled at my son, and she tried to politely say, well, it's great that his parents let you do this, you know, let you go out with him and everything. And I was just floored. And I sat there for a minute and I looked at her and I said, I am his mother. And she kind of was like taken back, and she was like, oh, well, you know. And then she didn't say anything else. She turned around, paid for her stuff, and she left. But I have dark features. I'm Aztec Mexican. That means my kids are half Aztec Mexican. My husband is Scandinavian. He's German, Norwegian, and Swedish. So his side of the family, a lot of them have blonde hair, blue eyes, or hazel eyes. And the reason why she made that comment to me at the store was because my kids have lighter features than me. They have hazel eyes, light hair, and one of my kids even has blonde hair like his daddy. So it kind of hurts. It's like a sharp stab at me. It kind of hurts sometimes when people don't realize that I'm his mother. But then again, I keep telling myself maybe they were absent at school that day when they covered this in health class or science class or whatever. You know, maybe they don't understand exactly how DNA works. I don't know. That's my only comment on that. I'm not going to try to be negative on top of a negative. I mean, it hurts already. But anyhow, that's my short experience. And this was at North Riverside Mall at JCPenney's. So I don't know if North Riverside Mall is still standing to this day. I haven't been back in that area for almost 12 years. So, but anyhow, moving quite along to a different topic. I would like to discuss another story that I fell upon with a friend of mine, Joy Marr. I want to give her a shout out. Hi, Joy. Thank you. Joy Marr gave me a story of this young man. Now, he was in the Royal Air Force, Air Guard, as a gunnery. And the reason why I'm doing this is because he was military, even though he wasn't in our country. Let me go find out what's going on. Sorry, you guys. What? What happened? What happened? Daddy went that way? Okay, Daddy's trying to get the house ready. You got to leave Daddy alone.
Daddy, mow.
He went to go mow? Well, you might see him in the backyard or something. You gotta give Daddy some time. He's getting the house ready for Brother's birthday tomorrow. So anyhow, I mean chicken food for my kids. Still not quite ready. But as I was saying, the reason why I decided to take this story on and cover it is because it is still military related. The gentleman that we will be talking about, his name is Corey McKeague. That's Corrie. McKeague is McKeague. I'm sure if you guys Google that, all kinds of information will come up. Anyhow, his story goes, he's very young, early 20s. He was out on a night of debauchery with his friends, parted ways, very intoxicated, and started to walk back home to wherever he was going to sleep for the night. But the thing is, he disappeared. He never made it. People wondered for years what happened. This happened in 2016 of September. And I guess, see what my kids are doing now. Oh, it's my husband. I guess what happened was, sorry, my husband's running around. I guess what happened was, at 1:25 in the morning, a CCTV camera caught him walking down the street with food in his hand. He was eating, of course, he's intoxicated and eating. And then he fell asleep in the doorway of an area, and then he woke up again at 3:25 and wandered off into a direction of U-shape where there were some recycling bins. And then he was never seen again. So he basically disappeared. Now, his family started searching. They called, well, of course, they reported to the police, and the police started looking. And each had their own theory. The mother, her theory was shortly after they started investigating his disappearance, she found all kinds of information in regards to her son online with social media accounts. he was on several dating websites, and I guess his sexual orientation was for both ways, if you guys understand what I'm saying. And it was, I'm sure, probably embarrassing to her. So she went ahead and immediately deleted all of that. Everything that she stumbled upon, she deleted it instead of giving it to the police. And yet she went to the police and she claimed maybe that had some connection with his disappearance. And yet the police are like, lady, yeah, if that were the case, why did you delete it? We've got nothing to go on. So, I know, right? That's a ridiculous move. And his father had another theory. His father believed that he was struggling with depression, and he came into some new information in regards to his girlfriend, which I will discuss in a minute. His girlfriend had given him some life-changing information, and his father believes that he was out on a night of debauchery because he just didn't want to think about it, and he probably just wandered off somewhere to commit suicide because he was just overthinking his life-changing situation. So that's what his father believes, but there's no body, there's nothing. So, you know, and yet both parents, even though they have their own theories on what happened to their son, they don't want to talk about it. Like the theories fly around constantly, and they don't want to hear any more of it. So it's like they put these theories out there, and yet they don't want to hear it anymore. Like they spoke of it, and that's the end. And then there is another theory that did come out from the public, which was there's a military base about 3 miles away from where he disappeared, and American military base, and they felt that maybe the American government had taken him. They probably picked him up somewhere, and there was some foolery going on. But that's highly not the case. I mean, if the American if the American military members were driving along down the road and happened to run into an intoxicated military member, not of their country, I'm pretty sure they would have picked him up, taken him somewhere safely where he can sleep it off for the night, and then returned him the next day. So, the American government was like, we don't know what you're talking about, But then the police weighed heavily in on the situation. Their theory in the end was that they believe what he did is he walked himself into that corner, the recycling bin, and climbed into it. And the next day, a lorry truck happened to come along, and they took that recycling bin to a different location where it was a landfill. So basically, they believe that his body was crushed, and that's how he met his demise in one of the lorry trucks. So if that is highly the case, that is definitely a sad way to go out, especially after a night of debauchery. The reason why they highly confirm this theory is because the fact that most lorry trucks are, well, the contents of the dumpster that they pick up is about 25 to 50 kilograms. And there was an error reading on their machine that weighs their bins, and the company itself came out and fixed that error in order to confirm with the police that there possibly was a body in that bin that morning when the truck picked it up. And I guess the correct weight of that bin that morning was 116 kilograms, and that's not normal for them. So they believe that he was in the bin sleeping, and he got crushed. So I'm sorry, my son is going nuts on me. So anyhow, a sad ending for him if that is truly the story. I'm pretty sure that That's most likely how it went, if the weight fits the story, I should say. Let me check on my son for a minute. Check on my son and check on their food. Hi. I'm here to check on your food, okay? So, anyhow, that, as I was saying about his story, shortly after they were investigating and confirmed the case, they decided to run it as a cold case because even though they confirmed it, they were like, yeah, but we don't really know. We're just speculating because of the weight of the bin, which I find is just like the worst thing you could do. So you confirmed it, but you're not confirmed. I don't understand. Maybe my viewers out there can kind of explain what I don't understand. I don't know. But then the public did not accept the police's statements or theory, and they said we should be out looking for his body if that's what truly happened to him. They said, you know, we should send out search parties in the landfill because that's probably where his remains wound up. Well, they're like, well, we're not going to do all that work. We don't know exactly if he wound up in that location that the truck dumped it off. You know, it could have moved and shifted to other locations. So who knows at this point? And the police was like, we don't have the money or the time for this. So the people were like, well, what if we set up an account for donations? Which they did. They came up with 36,000 euro for this situation, and they had private investigators go looking, and the private investigators wound up at dead ends. They basically found nothing. So the father was like, I feel sorry for all the people who, you know, sent donations and, you know, nothing came of this situation. And anyhow, as I was telling you earlier about his girlfriend and her information she had, give me 1 second. I'm sorry, I'm carrying around a sack of potatoes. His girlfriend, shortly after they started investigating, she claimed that she was pregnant with his baby. And a lot of people want to believe that, but a lot of people question it at the same time because the baby was born in June. And it takes 9 months to have a baby. And he went missing in September. So the math is a bit off. I don't know if anyone else agrees with that. I'm sorry, you guys, I don't know what happened to my phone color. But anyhow, the math is off. I don't know if anyone else agrees with that, but I have 4 kids myself, and I can tell you that the math doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense at all. And, you know, she said, oh, well, I just found out I was pregnant. If she got pregnant at the beginning of September, she wouldn't just find out. You know, it doesn't add up, if you ask me. But, you know, I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe you guys, my viewers, can tell me. Anyhow, that is how his case is. That's how it ended. It's a cold case forever. I gave you guys his name. You guys can feel free to look it up. Very sad ending for Corey. Let me know what you guys think. As always, I love y'all. Mwah. I'm so sorry. I've got my hands full here with baby and messy house, and we're getting ready for her birthday and 4th of July. We're gonna have a party tomorrow. Anyways, even though I'm happy for 4th of July and we're gonna have a birthday party, I am very sad for these 2 families, for their losses. So, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I'm keeping their families in my mind and my heart. And if you guys got any more questions or stories or theories or anything about anything, please reach out to me. Let me know. if there's anything else you guys want to hear. Okay? Love y'all. Bye.